This is Hovey Smith with Hovey's Outdoor Adventures. And once more we're going to delve into the world of modern adhesives. The particular problem is this. I tore it off the back of my truck. No, I didn't mean to, of course, but nonetheless I did. And these sorts of things get expensive these days. So what we're going to do is we are going to replace these parts by gluing them in with our super glue here and our shoe goo, so we don't have to buy. The first thing I'm going to do is take a little acetone and we're going to clean around the broken parts here so we're sure we get a good bond. Now this has a crack going all the way down to there, and we're going to put a little tape on that as well as the glues. I actually have two varieties of super glues. This is Knife Maker's Specialty, and this is from Jantz, and this is from Pops. And I actually like the Pops formulation better. Okay, let's see how that goes. You heard it sort of snap in to fit. Okay, I'll warrant that one is there. Now the next one, a little more complex part. And there we have it. Now we're going to leave that for a good while and then come back and do an overlay with shoe goo. So we'll have two different kinds of adhesives on these one parts, but that'll ensure we get a dust-proof seal, because so what we want to do, of course, is prevent dust from getting on the inside of the lamp. We are presently continuing with our repair on our tail light for our Ford Ranger. Incidentally, I priced the new one yesterday, and it was about $45 from an aftermarket supplier. Now if you'd gone down to the Ford place and got it and had them put it in, I guarantee you that it would probably be about double that. So if we can make the repair and make it successfully, we're going to save ourselves considerable money, depending on how you would get this, maybe up to $100. So this exercise is worth the doing of it. Now since you last saw, we have taken isopropyl alcohol, cheap, inexpensive, and we have cleaned the rest of this surface to get most of this dust, red Georgia red clay, off it. Now we have also taken strapping tape. This is reinforced with fiberglass, so it's pretty strong. And we have further put this over all the cracks, here, 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 to seal that, and put an underlayer of super glue under that. So this is being well held. The problem with this particular strapping tape is that it decomposes on exposure to sunlight. So we're going to protect it. We're going to put another layer of thinner tape over it. This tape is used in the electric industry for wrapping exterior wires. This is what the professionals use, the linemen use when they repair broken power lines. So it's pretty good stuff so far as preventing ultraviolet rays from getting in here and bothering this and decomposing it. But it has no great inherent strength. So we're going to cut some of it and mold it over this shape. In addition, this material will also help ensure that any cracks are sealed. Another thing you do not want to do with these types of units is allow any way that moisture can get inside. Otherwise, you run into a problem of condensation, which will be there forever. I mean, you can't get it out. Also, as you see, dust. So, for both of these reasons, we want to wrap and cover any broken fracture areas with this particular tape. Incidentally, this curious knife that you see, this is one of our new designs of paring knives with Hobie's Knives of China. I use my knives for everything. If I need to cut, I'll grab one of my knives. These knives are being made to use, not to collect. Okay, now that is well molded, put around, well stuck. I'm going to do one more thing to it too. I'm going to put a layer of shoe glue on the top of this stuff to further ensure that when I put this stuff in there, it's going to stay there. We have a strip to go across the top. Well, some will ask, why don't you use scissors? Well, of course I make knives, that's why. I don't make scissors. And I got knives. Well, I got scissors too, but these are handier for this kind of use. All right. Now, with our shoe glue, we're going to catch up these edges. And we'll use a palette and smear around these, because this is not a very delicate applicator, of course. Far from the prettiest bonding with glue type materials I've ever seen, but nonetheless strong and effective. So this has completely sealed this unit again. So I needn't worry, as long as I replace these correctly, about any moisture and or dust getting on the inside here. So this is being effectively repaired. We also have some other problems. These are the various attachment pieces, the screws and the screw-in plugs that actually tore out of my body here. So these are going to be replaced on the inside. Now, one thing I need to do is either repair this bent screw here or find a replacement for it. Because I don't want to put stress on this already weakened assembly. Now, any guy has a bucket full of miscellaneous screws, nuts, bolts, etc., etc., etc. I have mine a little better organized in a cabinet. But looking through what I've got here, I have a variety of screws, none of which exactly fit. This is the same diameter but too long. You could trim. This is too large a diameter, too small a diameter but of correct length. About the right diameter but a little long, pretty well rusted, and the end is wallowed out, so I doubt if I could reset that one again, although I do have a bit that might fit it. So what we're going to do is put this in a vise and see if we can straighten it. The fact that we might damage the threads a little bit is not. Now that we have tested and verified functionality, I'm going to do a try fit and see how our cover does towards slipping back in. Let's put these away temporarily. Now this has been a little more troublesome than I had suspected. First off, we had to, of course, align these, which required a little bending of metal here, taking a Dremel tool, yeah, and working these square pegs round, plus reaming this out with a almost half-inch drill right there, so we could get a good flush fit on this side and still catch up with our bolt holes on the other. So that's what we have been about. So ideally, you should be able to index your material right here, push it in, have it reasonably tight all around, and then be able to set your screws. There are some weather gaskets here that should actually touch against the metal. I'm not sure we're going to quite achieve that. We'll see. But we're getting certainly closer than we were. And we have a legally functioning tail light. So we'll put it together and screw it in. We're now left with the step of putting the bulbs back into our lamp here. We have everything in, rewired and retested, and so all the electrical connections are good. So now we're actually going to put it in. Okay, that one's biting pretty well. This one I may have to do something a little with. Then on this side, up here up top, we now have our broken tail light installed and legal again. Yeah. Now that ain't going nowhere. So for now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.